So I wanted to make this video just to kind of give a little bit more information about the new old style Floyd Rose arm that Floyd has started selling again. I was a little uncertain about it and I wanted to give it a shot since I had a lot of problems with the original arm that came with my Floyd Rose guitar, just like I know a lot of other people do, having a lot of noise and the arm doesn't stay wherever you put it and it always seems to come loose. So after seeing a video by another YouTube user named Saint Evo, he kind of talked a little bit about the advantages to the old style arm. So it got me interested, and then I saw Guthrie Govan talking about his Charvel prototype, and he had done the same exact swap and put the old style arm in his Floyd Rose guitar. So I figured I would try it and give it a shot, and I went and got one from a website called accessories.com for about 25 bucks, and I gotta say, it's awesome. It is so much of an improvement. It's mind-boggling. So here's the actual packaging that it came in, and you can tell it's a real Floyd Rose. Even on the back it says Schaller, so it's the made in Germany ones. And there's no instructions that actually came with it, so that's kind of another big reason why I wanted to make this video, so that way people who didn't know would have some kind of reference, because I had to dig through so many forums and other places to get some information about how to actually install the arm. And it's actually not that difficult. So in order to remove the old style, or I'm sorry, the newer style arm, aka the collar one, all you got to do is just unscrew the control plate in the back and just take off the 3 springs or however many springs you have in the cavity, and you'll see this little set screw in there. And all you got to do is just use the Allen wrench that you would use to unlock your locking screws and your nut, and just stick it in there and unloosen that, and eventually you can pull the entire housing out of the base plate of the Floyd. So once you do that, then you're actually going to need to remove the trim from the posts and take it out of the cavity completely, because we're going to need to be able to get to the actual base plate in order to actually install it. So the way that this arm works, and Saint Evo talked about this in his video too, is that instead of setting the bar to do the motion, the entire assembly rotates on these little Teflon washers, and you actually set the tightness of how you want the arm to be down here. So if you look at this little chrome part, it's got these little notches in it. It's probably a little difficult to see on the camera, but those notches fit perfectly with this little wrench. This wrench is about a 6mm, 7mm maybe, I'm not quite sure. It's just the one that came with the arm. But you just insert the wrench into these notches, and then from there you can either tighten it or loosen it and figure out, what's the sweet spot for how you like your arm. And I usually have the Floyd, I hold it up just so that way I can see if gravity will drag the arm down and therefore I need to tighten it more, or if it feels too firm. Oops, sorry, camera went dark. So that I just use that just to kind of help fine tune it, because once it's in the guitar, it's kind of a pain to be able to have to take it back out and then try and figure it out and put it back in again. And whenever you actually disassemble the housing for the first time when you get it, it's going to have these 2 little Teflon washers, and I don't know if it's too difficult to see them, but there's one on top and one on bottom. The bottom one is going to be the bigger one, obviously, because the whole assembly right here is a lot bigger, so it's got a little bit more surface that it needs to spin on. And you put the smaller one on top, and on top of that little Teflon washer you have a little metal washer that has a little notch in it that you put in as well. And I'm pretty sure the whole point of that is so that way it keeps the assembly able to lock in and not depend on how much the bar is screwed in. So once you got that set up, then you're pretty much good to go. All you need to do is just do the reverse and just put the trim back in the cavity, put the springs on, put the control plate cover back on, and you should be good. So like I said, it's a great upgrade. The only downside to it is that in order to actually remove and put the bar back on, you actually need to use the wrench and hold the socket and and turn the arm and just loosen it, and then you can unscrew the arm. So that kind of sucks if you're at a gig or whatever and you want to, pull your guitar up really quickly or put it away very quickly. You're going to need that wrench in order to take the arm out. Otherwise, the arm is just going to be staying there. So that's kind of a downside, but aside from that, it's pretty great. And I got this wrench. It came with the packaging, so if you're like I'm going to do and you end up buying more of these, you can just keep a wrench in every bag or every case that you have. What else? I'll make sure to include a link to accessories.com down below in the comment box. And yes, they do have them in every color, in chrome, gold, and black. Yeah, that's about it. I want to say thank you to O Saint Evo for his original video on the ARM information. It was extremely helpful, and let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, just post them in the comments box, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.